as a result, Donald Trump is once again going to be the President of the United States.
Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic day. So unless you've been living under a rock, you know that Donald Trump has been elected as the President of the US.
Thank you very much, wow.
And no, this is not 2016, this is 2024, he's been re-elected. Some people will have strong opinions about that, but maybe that's a topic for another day. But if you are a stakeholder currently in the US or thinking of becoming one, how is this going to impact you? And what are the implications of him being president on the market? So that's what I want to break down today, maybe looking at previously what he's done and to what is expected to be done this time in his presidency. But it's too early to tell, and I'm just giving my opinion on what could happen, that's all. Yeah, I know it's dark, I'm filming in this room, but if I open my blinds, it's winter in the UK, so even in the morning it's just dark anyway, it doesn't really make a difference. Right, so before we dive in, just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is just for information and educational purposes only. Always do your own research as usual and consult a licensed professional before making any investment decisions. Right, so with that out of the way, with all the buzz around Trump's presidency and his return to power, here's one thing every investor needs to think about: how his policies could impact your investment. Today, I'll walk you through specific policies we might see, industries that I think he could affect, and actionable steps that you could do when making investments in stocks and ETFs, and what to consider. So whether you're like a seasoned investor or just getting started, this breakdown is for you. Hopefully I'll bring up some points that you didn't know before and some points that you were expecting to happen anyway. So let's just get into it. Now, Donald Trump is a Republican, and what does every Republican love? Tax cuts, good old tax cuts. But this is a good investment opportunity. Large corporations, if you're thinking about investing in industrials, tech, consumer goods, this could be a big deal for you. So Trump previously introduced the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, basically reducing corporate taxes 21%. If he returns to office, we could see a version 2.0 of that with even lower rates. So this would directly benefit companies with high taxable incomes. So giants like Apple and Caterpillar, off the top of my head. Lower taxes means that they have more cash flow. They can use that for paying more dividends or invest in their growth or buy back shares, all of which are great for investors like you and I. So for example, for beginners specifically, consider investing in ETFs like the SPY or the VOO that tracks the broader S&P 500, and it just allows you to invest in a basket of these top performing blue chip stocks without having to pick like individual baskets. Next up is deregulation of the financial institutions. So a repeal of the Dodd-Frank regulations I think is on the table, but it means that there's no investment opportunity for people like you and I in banking and financial institutions. So for me personally, I think that across the board there could be a deregulation on all these financial institutions, making it easier for banks to lend and grow. So this in theory would boost the profits of JP Morgan and Wells Fargo and other American banks. So if you prefer ETFs, the financial sector SPDR fund is a great way to capture this entire financial institution sector. Another example is fintech companies. So things like PayPal or Square, ticker symbol SQ, might also benefit indirectly though, as deregulation encourages innovation in the digital banking space. Historically, that's just what happens. Healthcare. I think healthcare is another one that could be impacted, and specifically deregulation of drug pricing and FDA streamlining. So the investment opportunity here is biotech and pharmaceutical companies, obviously. Trump historically has pushed for reduction in drug pricing regulation and faster FDA approvals as well for drugs that are still in testing. So companies like Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson could see profitability rise if these policies return, because it means they can push their products out a lot faster without having to spend more time and costs trying to get these approved. Another example of an ETF is IBB. It can offer a smaller exposure for innovative companies that might benefit from streamlining regulations. So healthcare is often seen as like a defensive sector. So it's a smart way to balance riskier investments during like uncertain political times. So if you're investing in like the tech industry and you think it's too big a bubble, everything's overvalued, then healthcare could be a good way to balance out your portfolio. This one is kind of separate. I don't know about this one as much as I do the others, which is that typically Trump likes to increase the spending on the military, and with large military contracts probably going to be given out soon, I think companies like Lockheed Martin and Raytheon that build planes and specialized products for the military could see a big increase in investment, or potentially even government contracts straight away, which will help for funding for their own, R&D. Because I feel that tensions aren't going to be coming down anytime soon. We'll see what Trump does. I can't say for certain what is going to happen, but I can kind of give you an estimate of what I think you should invest in. Alright, trade policy and potential tariffs on China. I think the potential policy here could be America first manufacturing, and that means new tariffs on China. So the investment opportunity here, I think, is US based manufacturing for domestic supply chains, essentially. I think that Trump's America first policy might bring back tariffs on Chinese imports, favoring US based manufacturing. So companies like 3M, ticker symbol MMM, known for their diverse US operations, or General Electric's ticker symbol GE, which is pivoting towards high-tech manufacturing, could benefit from these shifts. So for a tech investor, if you are, then look at things like Intel, perhaps have a look at maybe Microsoft as well. If trade tensions rise, companies that manufacture domestically could gain competitive advantage. So ETFs like the SOXX, which tracks semiconductors stocks, might also benefit. So if you're investing globally, keep an eye on emerging markets, like VWO is a good ETF, and that could potentially be impacted by trade policy and trade wars, particularly in Asia. Okay, American infrastructure. I think that Trump could introduce a potential American Infrastructure Renewal Act, for example, and the investment opportunity here could be construction and material companies. So Trump previously proposed major infrastructure spending and could renew this focus. So stocks like Vulcan Materials, ticker symbol VMC, which supplies construction aggregates, or United Rentals, ticker symbol URI, provide equipment for large projects, and these are poised for benefits if something like infrastructure acts come around and under Trump's presidency. So an additional example for the global market could be the Global ex-US Infrastructure Development ETF, ticker symbol PAVE, offers diverse ways to invest in companies involved in construction, engineering, and materials. So the actionable step, if you're an investor, is infrastructure investments that align with long-term growth. So make them great for retirement portfolios would be my recommendation. Just like in any other market, each of these policies could create winners and losers, but diversification is key. Like I tell anyone, spread your investments across different sectors to minimize risk, and remember the best strategy is the focused long-term one for investments, not the short-term political headlines. Use dollar cost averaging slowly to build your positions in all these sectors that might benefit from policy changes, and this sort of reduces the risk of mitigating any risk in the market. Thank you for watching. If you think this helps you, hit the like button and subscribe. That's always appreciated. Share if you wish. But for more tips on navigating investments, and if you're a first time investor, let me know what you think of this kind of video. I can see about making them in the future, but yeah, for the time being, please invest wisely and do your research before making any financial decisions. And say what you will about him, but he is so memeable. Think about how many memes he's created.